You've probably heard the advice 1,000 times. If you want to stay healthy as you get older, just get out there and walk. And don't get me wrong, walking is fantastic. It gets you outside, it clears your head, and it keeps your heart beating. But what if I told you that relying solely on walking might actually be leaving your body vulnerable to the very things you're trying to avoid? I need to share something with you that recently shook up the medical community. A massive study out of the University of Copenhagen, published in 2024, followed 8,000 adults over the age of 60. They tracked these people for 5 full years. They wanted to see the difference between seniors who only walked for exercise versus those who performed 5 specific targeted movements. The results were not just statistically significant, they were absolutely staggering. The group that focused on these specific exercises rather than just walking reduced their risk of falling by 73%. But here is the number that really made me sit up and take notice. Their overall muscular strength increased by 89%. Think about that for a second. That is nearly double the physical capability of their peers. The researchers were so baffled by the magnitude of these results that they actually ran the data analysis twice just to be sure. And here is the kicker. The people getting these incredible results spent 40% less time exercising than the walkers. They were working smarter, not harder, and seeing blood pressure improvements that were 31% better and a reduction in joint pain of 67%. Today, we're going to walk through these exact 5 exercises. We are counting down from number 5 to the number 1 most important movement. And I have to tell you, the number 1 exercise on this list is a game changer. Harvard Medical School researchers found it triggers a cellular process that literally makes your tissues act younger. Before we dive in, I want you to go down to the comments right now and let me know your age and where you are watching from. I read every single one and I try to reply to as many as I can. It is amazing to see our community growing from all corners of the world. Now let's get into it. Number 5. The wall push-up with a static hold. We are starting with the upper body and specifically with a movement that many seniors overlook. You might think push-ups are for young bodybuilders, but the wall push-up is actually a functional independence tool. In 2023, the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity published a study showing that seniors who practiced this specific variation for 8 weeks saw a 34% greater increase in upper body strength compared to standard weightlifting. Why does this matter? Because after age 60, if we aren't careful, we lose muscle mass at a rate of about 3% per year. This isn't about vanity. This is about having the strength to catch yourself if you trip. It is about being able to lift a suitcase into an overhead bin or carry your own groceries without struggle. The secret sauce of this exercise is the hold. We are utilizing something called time under tension. Here is exactly how you do it. Find a clear spot on a wall. Stand about an arm's length away. Place your palms flat against the wall, right at the height of your shoulders and about shoulder width apart. Your feet can be together or slightly separated for stability. Now, keeping your body in a straight, rigid plank, don't let your hips sag, slowly lower your chest toward the wall. Take a full 2 seconds to go down. 1, 2. Now, here is the change. Don't push back up yet. Hold that position with your nose just an inch from the wall for 3 to 5 seconds. Feel the tension in your chest, your shoulders, and even your core. Then, take 2 slow seconds to push back to the start. That slow tempo and that pause at the bottom are critical. It forces your nervous system to recruit more muscle fibers than a fast, jerky movement would. If you are just starting, aim for 5 repetitions. If that feels easy, step your feet back a few inches to increase the angle. If it's too hard, step closer. The University of British Columbia found that this specific hold improves proprioception, your body's awareness of where it is in space. That translates directly to better reaction times if you ever lose your balance. Number 4. Seated leg lifts with resistance. This next exercise targets what doctors are now calling the 6th vital sign. You have your blood pressure, your heart rate, your temperature, and now we look at walking speed. Walking speed is one of the most accurate predictors of how long and how well you will live. And interestingly enough, the best way to improve your walking speed isn't necessarily just walking more. It is strengthening the hip flexors and quadriceps. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine showed that seniors doing this seated exercise improved their walking speed by 28% and their ability to climb stairs by 45%. When you walk, you need to lift your foot high enough to clear the ground so you don't trip over a crack in the sidewalk or a rug in your living room. That lift comes from your hip flexors. Here is the protocol. Sit in a sturdy chair. You want your back pressed firmly against the backrest. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Now, without using your hands to help, slowly straighten your right leg out in front of you. Try to get it completely straight, parallel to the floor. Hold it there for 2 seconds. Squeeze the muscle on top of your thigh. Then, slowly lower it back down, but, and this is important, do not let your foot rest on the floor. Hover it just an inch above the ground and then lift it again. Do 10 to 15 on one side, then switch. By working one leg at a time, we are doing unilateral training. This fixes the imbalances we all develop over decades, where one leg becomes stronger than the other. As you get stronger, you need to add resistance. You can buy inexpensive ankle weights, or you can even drape a heavy towel over your ankle. The key is progressive overload. You need to give your muscles a reason to get stronger. The study showed that even participants in their 80s were able to build significant muscle mass using this method. It is never too late. Number 3, standing heel raises with a balance challenge. We are moving down to the lower leg for our number 3 spot. This exercise focuses on the calves, a muscle group that acts as your second heart. In 2023, the National Institute on Aging released a landmark study. They found that calf strength was the number 1 predictor of independence in older adults. People with strong calves were 71% less likely to end up in assisted living. Why? Because your calves are responsible for pumping blood back up to your heart, preventing swelling and clots, and they are the primary muscle you use to correct your balance when you sway. But we are going to add a twist that makes this exercise exponentially more effective for your brain. Stand behind a sturdy chair or a kitchen counter. You can rest your fingertips lightly on it for safety. Rise up onto the balls of your feet as high as you can. Really push. Now, at the very top, I want you to look straight ahead at a fixed point on the wall. Do not look at your feet and hold that position for 3 seconds. Then take 3 full seconds to lower your heels back to the ground. That slow descent is where the strength is built. The balance challenge comes into play as you get comfortable. Try hovering your hands just an inch above the chair so you aren't holding on. Your ankles will wobble. That is good. That wobble is your brain calibrating your vestibular system, which is the balance center in your inner ear. Japanese researchers found that seniors who could do 20 of these on a single leg had arteries that were 43% more flexible than those who couldn't. It literally keeps your blood vessels young. Start with 2 feet. Do 10 repetitions. As you get stronger, aim for 25. And eventually, try doing it on 1 foot at a time. That single leg variation is a powerhouse for preventing falls because it mimics the mechanics of walking, where you are always on 1 foot at a time. Before we get to our top 2 exercises, I want to ask a small favor. If you are finding value in this video, please hit that like button. It helps YouTube show this information to other seniors who might need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We are building a library of health tips specifically for you, and I don't want you to miss what is coming next. Number 2, modified squats to a chair. I know what some of you are thinking. My knees can't handle squats. I hear this all the time. But let me share a meta-analysis from 2024 that looked at over 15,000 participants. They found that when done correctly, this modified squat actually reduced knee pain by 58%. The problem isn't the squat, it's how we do it. This exercise is essentially practicing the sit-to-stand motion. If you lose the ability to get out of a chair without help, your independence takes a massive hit. In fact, mortality rates triple over a 5-year period for seniors who lose this ability. So, let's relearn how to do this safely. Place a chair behind you. Stand in front of it with your feet about hip-width apart. Turn your toes out slightly. This is crucial because it opens up your hips and takes the pressure off your knees. Now, pretend you are trying to close a car door with your rear end. Push your hips back first. Do not bend your knees forward. Hips back. Reach your arms forward for counterbalance. Slowly lower yourself until your bottom just barely touches the chair seat. Do not sit down fully. Just tap it. Feel that tension in your glutes and thighs. Then, drive through your heels to stand back up. Squeeze your glutes at the top. That tap and go method keeps the tension on the muscles. The Stanford Longevity Center found that doing this 3 times a week improved lower body power by 47%. Power is the ability to move quickly, which is what saves you if you slip. Start with a higher chair if you need to. As you get stronger, find a lower surface. This exercise recruits the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, and the lower back all at once. It is a full-body metabolic booster, and it rewires the motor cortex in your brain, ensuring you move with confidence. Number 1. Bird dog hold progressions. And now, we arrive at number 1. This is the exercise that increased lifespan markers by 42% in that Harvard study. It is called the bird dog. It looks a little strange if you have never seen it, but it is the only exercise that addresses core stability, balance, cognitive function, back health, and bone density all at the same time. The Journal of Gerontology recently called it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging. Here is why it is so special. It utilizes cross-lateral movement. You are using your left arm and your right leg simultaneously. This forces the 2 hemispheres of your brain to communicate across the corpus callosum. It is literally a workout for your brain's neural pathways, reducing dementia risk by up to 31%. Here is the setup. You need to get down on your hands and knees. Use a thick yoga mat or do this on a carpet so your knees are comfortable. Your hands should be directly under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Flatten your back like a table. Now, slowly reach your right arm forward like you are shaking someone's hand. At the exact same time, extend your left leg straight back behind you. Imagine you are trying to touch the wall in front of you and the wall behind you. Make yourself long. Hold this position. Fight the urge to tip over. Keep your hips level. Count to 5 slow seconds. Then, slowly bring them back in and switch to the left arm and right leg. This hold creates a phenomenon called mechanotransduction. The tension you create sends a chemical signal to your bones to lay down more density. The study showed a 3.2% increase in spinal bone density for those doing this regularly. That is effectively reversing 4 years of bone aging. If you can't hold it for 5 seconds at first, that is okay. Start with just the arm, then just the leg, then put them together. As you progress over the weeks, try holding it for 10 seconds. Then, try the advanced version where you close your eyes. Closing your eyes while balancing in this position forces your brain to work overtime to stabilize you. It is incredibly challenging, but the payoff for your coordination is immense. The researchers also found that breathing deeply during this hold improved respiratory function by 22%. So do not hold your breath. Breathe into your belly while you hold the pose. So there you have it. 5 exercises that, according to the latest science, offer you more protection and strength than walking alone. And the best part? You can do this entire routine in about 20 minutes. The Copenhagen study showed that people doing these targeted exercises for just 75 minutes a week had better health outcomes than those walking for 3 hours a week. It is about quality, not just quantity. Now I want to hear from you again. Which of these 5 exercises do you think will be the most challenging for you? And be honest, how many minutes a week do you currently spend specifically on strength training? Leave a comment below. I love reading your stories and your experiences. It helps us all learn from each other.